I don't think we can overstate the importance of what you just described. And to be honest, despite knowing a bit about the sleep research and circadian biology, this is the very first time that I've ever heard this. What about growth hormone release? When does that occur during sleep?
The deep, slow wave sleep that you get the very first sleep cycle is when you get a big bolus of growth hormone release. If you miss that first deep, slow wave sleep period, you also miss that big bolus of growth hormone release. That's when the protein synthesis part that builds memories, for example, in our brain happens in that first cycle of sleep. So you don't want to miss that, especially if you've learned something really big and needs more synaptic space to encode it.
How would somebody miss that first 90 minutes?
Depriving themselves.
Let's say I normally go to sleep at 10 p.m. and then from 10 to 11:30 would be this first phase of sleep, and that's when the big bolus of growth hormone would be released. Does that mean that if I go to sleep instead at 11:30 or midnight that I miss that first phase of sleep?
Yeah.
Why is it not the case that I get that first phase of sleep just simply starting later?
It is a beautiful clock that we have in our body that knows when things should happen. Our cells are ready to respond to that growth hormone release at a particular time. So if you miss it, yeah, you might get some growth hormone release, but it's occurring at a time when your clock has already moved to the next phase.
I don't think we can overstate the importance of what you just described. And to be honest, despite knowing a bit about the sleep research and circadian biology, this is the very first time that I've ever heard this, that you normally go to sleep at a particular time and growth hormone is released in that first phase of sleep, that you can't simply initiate your sleep out later and expect to capture that first phase of sleep.
Yeah.